Hey y'all, it's Lindsay and welcome back to my face. So this setup is different. I'm filming on my computer right now and I'm home for the summer now. I have a video that I filmed months ago at school, like ready, that I just have to edit and upload, but I've just been trying to get a job for the summer and focusing on like me and kind of getting through school. So now, when I'm off have a day off from work and stuff in the summer, I will try and like edit that. It's a pretty good one, I think. And I do want to get back into like videos and such. But the reason that I'm sitting here, first of all, I got a haircut and I cut about 8 or so inches off, and I'm going to be donating the hair. I put it in a ponytail, send it in a Ziploc bag, sealed envelope to the Pantene Beautiful Links campaign. And what they do is, much like Locks of Love and Wigs for Kids, they make wigs for people who suffer from like alopecia, or cancer, but specifically, Pantene Beautiful Links donates their hair. Takes donated hair and uses it to make wigs for female, specifically adult female cancer patients. Usually teenagers too. I know someone recently that I've known for a while that passed away from cancer. She was an adult female, a mom and stuff, and I've been wanting to cut my hair for a long time, but I wanted to let it grow because I've donated hair before, when I was younger, in order to get like the 10-inch requirement. Pantene is only 8 inches, but when I did Locks of Love and it was way too short, it didn't look cute. So I wanted to make sure I had enough length so when they cut it, I had this. So yeah, I'm sitting in my bed filming on my computer. I didn't want to set up my camera. I also don't have like a tripod thing. I have this to try and like give me some like a little bit of backlighting, because without it, like I was just like a black blob. So there's been some stuff that's happened recently, and I really feel the need to talk about it. So you guys, I'm sure, are aware of the bombing in Manchester at the Ariana Grande concert, and it was awful and horrible and sad and upsetting for everyone. And I'm not gonna lie and tell you guys that I'm like an Ariana Grande super fan, but even though I'm not, it still upsets you and affects you. But I just kind of want to talk about um, how I felt when I heard the news and kind of what I think should change for concerts in the future. So if you know me, you know I love concerts. I have like 1,000,005 concert vlogs on my channel. Hopefully we'll have more in the future. Anytime someone I like, one of my favorite people is in the city, I have to go. And for me, when I walk into a concert, just the atmosphere, even if it's whether it's at the House of Blues or it's in an arena or it's outside like Warped Tour or Jazz Fest or something, when in that environment, knowing that you're going to be seeing your favorite person, even just for an hour, no matter where your seats are. Like my first Jonas Brothers concert, I was up in the nosebleeds, not the very top, but like the 300 section, the front couple rows, not close enough where they could see me or know who I am, but knowing that I would be in their presence even just for a little bit of time was one of the best feelings and so comforting. And so for those fans of Ariana Grande, for me, when I leave a concert, I'm in like the best mood, and I'm so happy and euphoric and excited. I wanted to make this video completely all the way through unedited, but I got a phone call and had to pause, so that's why there's a jump cut here. But I forget what I was saying. But for those few minutes of time at the end of a concert when you're just kind of sitting and looking around, if like when I saw DNC, the last confetti falls in the sky and everyone's trying to pick up. They have the DNC let me see if I can get one and show you. The DNCE paper money that falls in the sky. This is coal. Everyone was trying to like collect it and pick that up. They're grabbing pieces of confetti and everyone's kind of scrambling to rush to buy merch before it sells out or get to their cars, and get out of there. And, for me sometimes I don't want to leave. And it's, like when I saw Five Sauce at my local arena, I just kind of sat for a minute and I ended up seeing two people that I knew like on the way out. So I was like, I wanted to like catch these people and say hi, but I just kind of for a minute stood there and I just thought, a few seconds ago, some of my favorite people were up there on that stage, and now they're gone, and I don't know when I'm gonna see them again. But I know that tonight was a great night. And until I'm out there in the parking lot, I'm still in the same venue, in the same room as like some of my favorite people. And what really hit home for me with this whole Ariana thing was like those people, you know, it was a horrible tragedy, and terrorism or whatever the cause of the bombing was, it's never okay, and it's never something to make jokes about, or, don't make it political. Don't just accept that it happened and that it's awful and horrible, and that it's a tragedy, and we should learn from it, and we should grow from it, and we should comfort each other. But something that really struck home for me was, for me, a concert is one of my favorite places to be. However long you're there, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours, whatever it is. If you're at a festival like Warped Tour, seeing a bunch of your favorite bands, or if you're going to one concert, to see one band or one artist. I went to Jazz Fest a few years back. I saw other people while I was there, but I went just for Nick. And it was an hour and a half or so of Nick, and I stood around all day and did all this other. It was fun. I'm not gonna lie. I could have gone later in the day just to see Nick, but you know, to see that person and to support him, you know. So, for me, like, I think about these people, and I always think about what if what happened tomorrow. Would I be satisfied with if something happened to me? Would I be satisfied with my life where it is? Would I be content? And that's why I think it's so important. If you love somebody, whether it be a favorite YouTuber, whether it be a music artist, whether it be a family member, if you're trying to reconnect with a lost family member or an old best friend from kindergarten, and or there's something in the back of your mind that's like driving you crazy and you need to talk to someone about it, do it. Don't wait to do these things. There's so many times when people are, in my city, and I think, oh, I'd like to go to that concert, or, oh, that'd be fun, but it's not someone like I care about an extreme. Like, Bruno Mars is coming in a few months. Like, tickets are crazy expensive. Would love to see Bruno Mars, but if I don't, it won't be the end of the world. It won't be, I won't, like, but if, let's say Nick was coming here on tour and I couldn't go for some reason, depending on the reason, but, more often than not, I'd be really upset about it. And, so I think it's so important when your favorite artist or a YouTuber is having a meetup, or if you have to travel. I talk about this too much, but in May of 2016, I was going to travel to Houston for press play to meet Alex Reininga and Stefan Argus, but Stefan ended up not going either. And I didn't have tickets yet or anything, but I had asked my parents, and it was like, oh, we'll see, maybe. And then I didn't have an official answer. Alex's birthday, March 4th, a few days before he left press play. And I had, texted my parents, like, oh, we don't need to go anymore, unless if they had already gotten the ticket, I would have gone and tried to just, see Stefan. But, and I said, oh, Alex left, and then, a few days later, I saw my mom on Alex's birthday, and she said that she was gonna say yes and take me. And I wasn't mad at Alex. I wasn't upset. I was upset at the situation, because with things like the bombing, I can't relate to that at all. But I just think, what if something were to happen to one of us tomorrow and we never got the chance to meet? Or if next week I got sick and something happened to me and I never got the chance to thank Nick Jonas or Joe in person, or Kevin for being the biggest part of my life support wise, or like in 2013 when I met We the Kings, I kept asking my sister, who went to the concert with me, like, are you sure you don't mind? Are you sure you don't mind? She could see how much I wanted it. And after I met them, I went home that night and I rewatched a few of my videos, looked at the pictures, and I cried. I cried happy tears that night when I went to bed, because those people mean so much to me, and to be able to see them in person and hug them and just talk to them. It's surreal. And, Charles is in We the Kings, but he's also a YouTuber, one of my favorites. And so being able to have a conversation with someone whose life I watch daily in vlogs was such like an epic experience. And for me, it was just so cool and so like eye opening because it's just real people living their lives. And this last summer at Warped Tour, when I spent like an hour listening to Travis talk, like having a conversation with Travis and getting to hug him twice and like talk to him face to face and have an actual like one on one interaction with him was so important to me. And I had to spend $25, actually 50 because I bought my friend's ticket too. But like, yeah, I had to spend a lot of money, but it was worth it because I got an unforgettable life experience. And I think about these poor children. Some of them may have met Ariana before the concert with VIP, but a lot of these kids didn't meet her and won't ever get that chance to thank her, you know, to say thank you for what she's done in their lives, or they won't ever get the chance, to. And I think it's a horrible thing, I mean, they were blown up. You can't, there's no way to sugarcoat it. There's no way to, they were blown up. You saw stuff later on at night on social media of people saying, like, I'm home, I'm safe, but there's blood splatters and pieces of human flesh, like, stuck to my purse. And it's insane. People died. So many people were injured because of this, this act of whatever. But I think, for me, what really hits home is the ones that died or were hurt, they died doing something they love. I mean, they died seeing someone they love in concert, and I think, you know, it's awful and it's horrible. And for Ariana to know that she had just, I'm glad she was safe, and I'm glad the people that got away were able to, and that it wasn't like you know, it wasn't something where every single person got hurt. There was people that was able to be safe. But there's, those, I think there's two parents that were both killed. Their child is an orphan now. Their parents were taking their child to a concert. I've gone to so many concerts with, like, my parents, or just, like, one of my parents, or, like, my sister, or, like, one of my friends, and I think, what if something were to happen? What would I do? I don't know. If something happened to my parents, or my sister, or, like, one of my close friends at a concert, which is one of my favorite places to be. I just think how upset and sad everyone must be, and even those that weren't there and didn't live it, the people in Manchester and everyone around the world, me and, other people that go to a lot of concerts, I think about it, and I think, I've been to so many concerts where, not so many, but, like, at the Fire Sauce concert, I was on the floor, not super close in the front on the floor, kind of towards the back of the floor, but, the security on the floor are watching everyone with their phones and cameras, and they come down into the row to tap someone to tell us on our row that we can't be filming. When I saw Kobe Calais, Christina Perri, and Rachel Platten in 2015 fall with my sister at this, like, big outdoor venue we have in my city, and I was, like, 13 rows from the stage, and at one point, me and about 20 other people around me were filming, and a security guard came up and tapped my shoulder and said, excuse me, miss, you're not supposed to be filming. And I just thought, that's your biggest concern right now. And you can watch them at concerts. When I went to the House of Blues for DNCE, they said, they saw my camera and said, you can't take any pictures or videos, but before Five Sauce, they had a metal detector that scanned me and the person I was with, checked our pockets if the scanner went off because of our phone. If you had a knife, pocket knife, a gun, anything that considered a weapon, they took it at the gate. It wasn't a full body airport scanner, but they metal detected everybody. And when I saw We the Kings at the House of Blues in 2013, they took my ticket and said, go on in. They didn't take one of those wooden sticks and look in my bag or anything. That's putting a lot of trust in people. And I think, I'd rather get to a venue 10 minutes earlier if it means that I'm another 10 years of my life safer. And I think everyone would feel that way. And, oh, it's invasive or oh, this or that. But I would much rather have extreme circumstances to avoid extreme consequences and extreme dangers. And I think, a lot of these smaller venue shows or a lot of these, like, these smaller, I'd say, like, pop punk bands and, some of, like, the Warped Tour bands, they play these smaller venues all the time. So you think, oh, well, I don't have anything to worry about because these mass attackers, they want to go to these large venues with, like, a lot of people. And that's really not always the case. You assume that. But, any day, someone could decide to do something stupid. And, we can't live in fear. I saw at the Shawn Mendes concert in Paris, he did like a tribute to the Manchester victims, and I think everyone in that audience, was excited to be seeing Shawn, but they were probably terrified. I know it's a different country, it's a different artist entirely, but, what if they have a plan? Justin Bieber is kind of on tour right now, Ariana's on tour, Shawn's on tour. A lot of the bigger artists, Bruno Mars is going to be going on tour in the future. I'm trying to think, maybe 21 Pilots were just on this big tour. Like, you why Ariana? Why that specific concert? Why that specific artist? We don't know. And it can all be speculation and it can all be thoughts and sadness and whatever until we find out more. But Ariana has been very strong throughout this. She released a post kind of the night of or the morning of the next day saying, I'm at a loss for words. I'm so sorry. Like, and, there was photographers and, like, paparazzi saying things like, Ariana steps out for first time, and people saying, like, oh, she still has her makeup on from last night. Like, you can tell she's been crying and upset. Why are you in her face? And everyone's, oh, I wish she'd say something, blah, blah, blah. What can you say? You're headlining a concert, and your dedicated fans that were there to see you died and were severely injured. Her life probably flashed before her eyes. That could have so easily been her. And I wonder, when I saw the Jonas Brothers in 2009, I made a poster. And they had 2 tables full of posters that they took away from people because posters would be a distraction. And they had on the tables written, all posters will be delivered to the Jonas Brothers dressing room. So, me being the child that I am, the mom gives me a pen, and I write my full name on the back and, like, my address, thinking, like, they'll see this, how cute my sign is, and, like, send me an autograph. And I stood there by their bus taking a picture, watched security take the stacks of posters and throw them in the trash. And then during the concert, the Jonas Brothers did a portion of the show. Let's read the signs. They had, like, 3 to choose from. Because, like, I guess some people got there earlier in the day. Or, like, during sound checks, so they were allowed to, like, sneak them in. I was mad. Some people, like, worked hours on these. They're worried about you having a sign that could potentially block someone's view. But people can get in with bombs and guns, and it's crazy. Concerts are supposed to be a safe space to spend time with the artists that you love. Concerts are one of the best places to be because you're watching your favorite person in person. Now you wonder, these big events like VidCon and Playlist and Summer in the City in the UK and these big YouTuber events, it's the same thing. Everyone's there to see and meet their favorite creators or be a creator themselves, and you wonder, am I safe going anywhere? The thing is, though, you could be walking down the street on a random Tuesday at 5 p.m. and someone could hurt you or something could happen. You could slip and fall and break your neck and get severely injured. We can't live our lives in fear, but we also can't live recklessly, Be safe, be careful, and don't forget this, because this is a tragedy. And so many times a horrible thing happens, it's in the news for a few months, and then no one talks about it. And it's, oh, remember when that horrible thing happened? And I just hope that for anyone that was there, you know, I have so many fond memories of concerts, and I just hope for those people there that they can focus on the enjoyment they had at the beginning of the show, and that they, you know, they can be sad, but they can also be proud. Be proud of the fact that despite what happened, they're not giving up. You know, they're persevering, and they're showing Ariana support and their fellow people that were there support, and they're not, I'm sure they're sad and upset, but they're also kind of putting on brave faces, and they're speaking out, and you know, they're trying to remain positive even though there's tragedy everywhere. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all of you for being able to talk about it, and for not being afraid to, you know, say things. And for the people that are no longer with us, you know, it's awful, and it's horrible that something like this could happen, but at least they got to see their favorite artist one last time. And that song actually is now like number one on iTunes. You know, people have kind of made that, I guess, the anthem of like strength after this tragedy. And I just, concerts for me are such a safe place and a happy place for me. It is my happy place. And I just hope that we can all continue to support our favorite artists. Don't live in fear. Um, if you live your life in fear, you miss out on some of the best opportunities. And I know for me, it scares me to think if in 2 or 3 months someone announced an arena tour like Nick Jonas or Demi Lovato or, you know, Niall Horan or something. Of course, I'd want to go if they're coming to my city, but I'd also be a little scared. But like I said, even the smaller venues, like if We the Kings plays a smaller venue, there's no guarantee someone's not going to decide to do something stupid that day. So we can't live our lives in fear. We have to try and be strong. And don't be strong for anyone else but yourself. It's hard, and I know a lot of people are struggling. And you know, I remember when Christina Grimmie died after her show. She was headed out to side stage to meet fans and sign things, and got shot and passed away. And I think about Christina Grimmie at least once a month, and I get sad. She has a movie out on Netflix called The Matchbreaker, which is adorable. You should go watch it. And at the end, it said, like, dedicated to Christina Grimmie. And I sobbed for about 20 minutes after I finished the movie. Not sobbed, but I cried thinking about it. You know, another beautiful life lost. That's another example of why we need to up security. If you have to charge a few extra dollars per ticket, or upcharge a little bit on the cost of popcorn in your venue to afford it, or charge an extra processing fee to keep concerts safe, do it. I'd pay an extra $5 or so on my ticket if it meant that I felt more safe at a venue and more secure. So many people are taken away from this world too soon for whatever reason, whether it's cancer, whether it's murder, whether it's suicide, whether it's illness, whatever the reason is, you know, God has a reason for doing the things that he does. And in times like this, it may seem hard to understand that, and it may seem, you can say, why God, why me? But, you know, um, I believe personally that God doesn't put things in your life that he knows that he doesn't put things in your life that he knows you won't be able to handle. He deals you certain cards, and sometimes things happen and people can't handle it, and they do things, crazy things, or they hurt themselves or they hurt others for whatever reason, and I just think that um, you know, this event has made people stronger. We've come together as a community of music lovers and just humans living in the world with compassion and love for one another. And I just hope that we can make sure that this won't happen again, and we can up the safety procedures. Get rid of the wooden stick purse searching assembly line. Even just a handheld metal detector. Get it. Make it a standard. If you have to, do what the NFL does and require that everyone's bag be a little clear purse, and they can only fit whatever fits in that purse. Don't allow purses and backpacks. Do whatever you have to do as venue security, and as artists to keep your supporters, your consumers safe. I'm going to continue supporting all of my favorite artists, and I'm going to continue going to concerts. It's scary, but they're also my favorite place to be, and I'm not going to let this tragedy deter me from doing what I love, and you shouldn't either. I know it's scary. I know it's a weird time to be in this world. Things in this world are kind of crazy right now. A lot of bad things happening in a lot of places, but we have to persevere as a world, as a population, and as humans. And I hope that you all continue to support your favorite people, because just like Ariana, other artists are hurting. Support your favorite people, and if they're near you, do whatever you can to meet them, to at least see them, because I know you're going to regret it if you don't get the chance. Wow, I talked for a really long time. This is going to be a really long video, but I just needed to get things off my chest. And if there's anything you don't agree with, feel free to sound off in the comments. But I'm going to keep this a loving, happy, safe zone. If any of you ever need anyone to talk to about anything in your life, please feel free to reach out to me. I am always happy to help get people smiling again. So, thank you so much for watching this video. I don't want to do promotion at the end, but I'm just going to say that I love you all, and I love you all, and I hope that you're okay, and I hope that some part of this maybe you can relate to, or some part of me can make you smile, and we can chat more about how you guys feel. Security at concerts, update your stuff and keep us safe. If you go to any concerts in the near future, stay safe, stay alert, make sure your phone battery is charged in case something happens and you have to get in touch with your family. Let them know where you are. Have fun, stay safe, buy some merch, support your favorite people, because now more than ever, we need to support each other as a community of YouTube fans, music fans, book fans, whatever you're a fan of. Your favorite people need you. Even if your favorite person is Justin Bieber and he has millions and millions of fans, you know what? One day he might see your post to him, or he might be scrolling through his notifications and see something from you that makes him smile. You don't know. you never know the impact that you can have on someone's day, even if it's a multi-million-dollar celebrity. It's always worth a shot. And that's something that I believe, Nick Jonas may never see the stuff I say to him, but the thought of that my thing could possibly make him smile one day means the world to me, because he's done so much to make me smile in my life. I'm getting cheesy now, but yeah, thank you so much for watching this talk video. I've just been really sad about it, and I kind of needed to get thoughts off my mind. So, thank you for watching. I love you all. If you ever need anything, reach out, and I will catch you guys in my next video whenever it goes up. Subscribe if you're hungry for videos occasionally, not necessarily every Food Friday, for now. In the future I hope to get back on that schedule, but yeah. I love you all. Goodbye.